We dropped about 30 degrees just from yesterday. And then in the coming days, we're going to get below freezing. So those frigid temperatures are certainly present and certainly something to contend with here, especially with how vast this area is here in the Big Bend sector. Now, in this area, it's outright dangerous. Border Patrol right now warning of the cold and rough conditions out here. These individuals, once they cross into this area, they have a minimum of 20 miles to clear after they cross. One migrant who was stranded out here in the middle of nowhere used dead cactus stalks to spell out the word help. A rancher actually alerted law enforcement to that SOS call, very reminiscent of when we were alongside the sheriff when he rescued an 18-year-old migrant from Mexico who was wielding a makeshift flag. Hector had been left behind by the group that he was traveling with. He nearly died out here. Sadly, he would have been a statistic. The sheriff saying that they have recovered 43 bodies over the last 4 years, when historically they only average 1 or 2 deaths a year. Sheriff Cleveland says while these SOS calls do seem innocent, there could be nefarious intent behind them. Is there a chance that these individuals could be a distraction?
Oh, most definitely. We've had similar experiences before where we've had calls, whether it's for a call of distress or maybe a call out on the highway, where we've certainly thought that they were trying to distract us by putting us in one area while they do the end around, if you will, and get through another area. Common tactic that we see not just here, but across the border in its entirety.
So the dangers, though, begin well before these individuals even make it to our border. Look at these two men. They were in a group encounter by Border Patrol. Both sustained gunshot wounds in Mexico, reportedly by rival smugglers. Now, what's really interesting here is that the sheriff oftentimes says that these individuals that are traversing through Terrell County, through the Big Bend sector, they do not want to be found. Oftentimes, their loved ones don't even know that they're missing until it's months or even years later, possibly. So he right now knows that there are at least 6 bodies out there that they need to go recover, Nicole, because of the communications that he's had with families.
So, Allie, the sheriff is communicating with families. What happens, and then how are these individuals eventually identified?
Yeah, so he's getting a lot of messages from families who have a missing loved one. So a lot of times these people will take off from Venezuela, from Mexico, wherever it might be, and then they're not heard from. And so these individuals reach out to sheriffs or people along the southern border asking for help. But the reality down here is a gruesome one. A lot of times these bodies aren't found for weeks or months. And unfortunately, there's just not any clear way to identify them. So they do have to send off DNA in certain cases, in extreme cases. Fingerprints are gone. The unfortunate, gruesome reality there. They're sending off this DNA to Central Texas to get some help. And then what they do is they work with the Mexican consulate as well to get a DNA kit back to that family in the home country for a potential match there. So again, just a gruesome reality that these families are going through that, but that is the reality. Now, the sheriff says that what the whole thing, what they're trying to do is get the remains back to the families, Nicole, because regardless, they're still humans. They're still people, and they still have families. So that is what he works to do. He says he just wants to help down here. Nicole.
All right, Allie Bradley live for us there in southern Texas. Thank you.